Here's a video that you have been waiting for a long time and I have been waiting to do for a long time. So let me go grab it. And wait, it's not just one, but I've got two of them. So how did I end up with two pairs of R.A.D shoes after being stuck with one for almost a year? Well, a pair that I had tried to get, it came back into stock. So I bought those. That was in between, I believe, the Open and quarterfinals. And then I had all that content from quarterfinals, so I couldn't open them because I wanted to open them with all of you. Do this R.A.Ds a year later. It's not quite a year, it's more like 10 months, but a year just sounds better. And I believe one of these pairs of shoes is part of the Year of R.A.D, their 1 year anniversary collection. So I saved them because I didn't want to open them without you guys. I believe these are the first pair I got. So we're gonna open them first. And when I bought my R.A.D shoes, I had planned to switch them out between, I had a pair of Metcons, a pair of Nobles. I did have a pair of Reebok Nanos. I don't like that shoe. I feel like it's just, for me, I have a smaller, narrower foot and a fairly high arch. I felt like the Nanos were just very, very wide for me. Some people like that. And it almost felt like I was wearing a shoe that was, you know, too big for my foot, even though it wasn't. It was just that I'm not used to having so much wideness in the toes. And I don't have particularly wide toes, so I didn't like those. But I bought these thinking I was going to switch them out and, you know, rotate my shoes so I'm not wearing the same pair every day. Well, for the last 10 months, I've pretty much exclusively worn my R.A.Ds. So I badly need another pair, and somehow I ended up with two. So let's look at them. So this is what we've got here for the R.A.D line, and looking at them, I still love this shoe. I feel like it looks so cool and so sleek, and this light color looks super clean. I'm gonna show you the ones I've had for the past 10 months so that we could see a comparison of what they look like. Here are the bottoms. You can see this is the R.A.D logo. It says R.A.D right there. Maybe I should turn it this way. R.A.D. And they do look very similar a year later to the shoes I got 10 months ago. And the shoes I got are great. And my biggest concern was that after a year and after their popularity, that the shoe would be a different quality because they're doing so many drops and trying to get out so many pairs. But honestly, this looks very similar to the one I got that was part of one of their first couple of drops. So I find that very optimistic because sometimes companies, when they're successful, they just want to knock out as many products as they can and sell as many products as they can, and then it sort of diminishes their product. And I don't see that happening. But I will say these are also still impossible to get. And that's why it took me 10 months to get a second pair. Because you go on at the time you think they drop, well, the time they do drop, and literally in less than a minute, a lot of the sizes, especially the women's sizes, the smaller sizes, are gone. And so women's and men's shoes are the same, which I like. I mean, there really isn't a difference in our feet, or that much of a difference in our feet, except for size. So it's the same shoe, it's just smaller sizes, and the smaller sizes sell out so fast because some men have small feet, and most women are going to have smaller feet than men. So they sell out so fast, literally less than a minute. I think I was on there for this drop before I got it when it came back in stock. And I don't believe they restock either. It's probably just people either canceling orders or sending things back. But I went on there the second these dropped, and less than a minute, I didn't get them. But I did get them now, so that's all that matters, right? I think that's a pretty nice looking shoe. That's probably the one we'll wear today, because if I do decide to return one of these, because I've, you know, have two now, maybe I don't need to. These are the older ones that I ordered. I believe I can't return them anymore, I would imagine. It's been more than 30 days. So I'm probably gonna wear these today to the gym, and I'll let you know what I think. I'll show you the second pair too. So here's the second pair. Oh, wow, with this second pair, I got some stickers. This is the newest drop. So with this pair, I actually wanted the orange ones, and I'll pop those up on the screen so you can see them. And again, they sold out way fast. And I actually only purchased these because I was like, is it even possible to get them during a drop? So I decided to pick another pair that was still available at like 8:01, so a minute after the drop started, and just see if I could get them, and I did. So I guess it is possible. You just have to not choose the most popular color. So I wanted the orange ones. I went to Syracuse. Orange is in my blood, but I didn't get them. But I got these, and I think these are pretty cute too. So they're also light in color, and they come with a second option for a lace, which I haven't seen in the other two pairs I've gotten before. So that's pretty cool to have options. This is the color. It's this light blue. I think that's a pretty cool color too. Although, seeing them side by side, I think I like this one better. So we'll see if I hold on to these. But still very similar construction. The bottom doesn't have that logo on it though. I do like the logo. I definitely think I like these better. And before opening these boxes and holding them side by side, I kind of thought it would be the other way. But I think I like these guys. We'll see if I keep these ones. So let me quick show you the R.A.Ds that I've had for, 10 months and have worn for pretty much every single workout that I've done over the course of the 10 months. And they're actually, that's the bottom of them. I mean, there's a little wear at the heel, but not a ton actually. For the amount of time I've worn these, I am surprised by how well they hold up. I don't have many issues with it looking super, super worn. I mean, they're more worn than the ones I just showed you because those are brand new and haven't been worn before. But these are holding up pretty well. So I have a little bit, you see, of wear getting it in on the heel. I think it's because maybe my finger here, maybe just the back of my foot rubbing on there. I do like to tie my shoes tight. So the back of my foot would be, resting up against there and not moving a whole ton. So that could be it. I rope climb in these a ton, and I wasn't sure if they'd be good for rope climbs, but actually it's pretty good. It's pretty solid here. It gives a firm grip on the rope, but I do believe this little wear that you see right there is from rope climbs and the rope rubbing and laying there. It's not as bad on the other side because you do tend to push the rope down onto one side usually, and I do believe that's what that is from and why it's worse on one side than the other. But other than that, that is honestly the biggest wear I've had on these shoes. They've held up remarkably well. And that's why, they're expensive. They don't really go on sale. But if you're going to spend the money on these, 10 months. This is 10 months of wearing them, probably on average 4 to 5 times a week, some weeks even 6 times. And they look so good. I wore them around the CrossFit games just for a shoe to wear, and they are very comfortable, and they're not quite a running shoe. Obviously, they're a CrossFit shoe, and they, have stability. They're not super, super soft like a running shoe would be, but they have enough cushioning that you're comfortable doing running workouts. These are the shoe I reach for every single workout. Where in the past, Nobles and stuff, they're just a little too flat, and if it was a running workout, I would hate running in them. Not the case here. I compare this more to a Nike Metcon. That is the shoe that I believe has the most similar feel to these, but these are even better. So we're gonna put on the new pair and see if I like them just as much this time as I did with this first pair. So I tried to get a shot of the shoes from the ground during the warm-up, and this shot was a little bit of a fail because the focus is off, but I figured I'd throw it in here in case you wanted to get a look at the shoes from this angle. And now into the meat of today's workout. So this is our secondary strength, and it was complete 3 sets on each side of 8 to 10 suitcase deadlifts, and then a 50 to 100 foot suitcase carry. So just one arm. Just gonna see this from one side because it got really congested, as you can see there. So just did that real quick to show you what that was like. But now
on to the Metcon portion. So this is complete as many rounds as possible in 8 minutes of 12 dumbbell hang squat cleans. This is the best those are gonna look. Then 12 front rack dumbbell walking lunges and 100-meter dumbbell farmer carry. So this is a whole ton of grip, let me tell you. So right now, these don't look too bad. It's 35s in each hand, and I went unbroken for this first set of 12. That is not going to last. So now we are on to the lunges, and lunges always make my butt sore, although they're not too bad when I'm doing them, but I'll tell you after, my butt was sore. So lunging across the room, this is just 12 front rack lunges, so no specific distance. Everyone's gonna go a little bit different depending on what your lunge stride length is. But if you're here for mostly the R.A.Ds, I will tell you during this workout, not once did I think about the fact that I was wearing brand new shoes. And literally this is the first hour I've ever worn them. So I think it says a lot about how they feel right out of the box and the limited time you need to break them in. And some shoes are different. Some shoes you need that time. These, not so much. By the way, the screen's blurred now. I just figured while I'm not on it and there's other people doing stuff, no need to show everyone doing random things. So back to those shoes though. I did wear a pair of R.A.Ds for most of my workouts prior to this pair of R.A.Ds. This is my second pair. So I am used to the shoe. It felt very familiar to me. It felt very much like the one I've been wearing for about 10 months. So I was impressed by how broken in they feel to begin with, but also by how well my last pairs held up during the last 10 months and wearing them for almost every single workout, that they feel so similar, basically the same as these brand new ones. That says something about the quality of this shoe, and it's part of the reason that I'm willing to pay this $150 price for these shoes when there are cheaper shoes on the market. But these are quality shoes. So I am outside right now doing that 100-meter dumbbells farmer carry. I'm about to come back in. There I am. And I will tell you that was broken up a lot outside. Holding things for long periods of time, not really something that I'm fantastic at. And I did some other stuff I'm going to show you in a minute yesterday, the day before this workout, that sort of impacted my grip on this one. So back to those dumbbell hang squat cleans. Now I'm breaking them up because I need to. My forearms, like they feel hard, and it's a challenge to hold on. If you give this a go, it is 35 pounds for women and 50 pounds for men in each hand. Pretty standard weights, but the whole workout involves holding them. The rule on the front rack dumbbell walking lunges as well is that you have to have your hand around the dumbbell. So you can't like rest it on your arm and loosen your grip. You got to be gripping the thing the whole time. This is a grip workout and it's about managing your grip. So at some point you are likely going to want to break these things up, because if you don't, you're going to drop the dumbbell without wanting to. Like your grip is going to go. It's whether you decide to take strategic breaks or you just drop the dumbbell. And I would suggest taking strategic breaks. So finished up those cleans, and now back onto these lunges. I think I'm gonna do about half of them, and I'm gonna put it down to turn around. I'm going out this door on the side that I was at when I started the squats. So it makes sense for me to turn around and drop them in that moment, shake out my grip, let my hands rest for a second, let my forearms rest for a second, and then pick them back up to finish off these lunges before I head back outside for that farmer's carry, which to me is definitely the worst part of this whole workout. I struggle on those farmer's carries, and it's a long distance, so it's not like you can just go real fast. So about to get ready for those farmer's carries, putting it down for just a second, let my grip rest, and now we're going back out the door. I mentioned that there was something I feel like impacted my grip that I did the day before this workout, and that is some rope climbs without touching the ground. So I had 3 sets of max rope climbs you can, going as far down the rope as you can, and then going right back up. without touching the ground. So you're gonna see it on the screen if it doesn't make sense the way I explained it. But basically it's like a touch and go rope climb without the touch. So just a go rope climb. I only did 3 lengths each time, and it was 3 rounds with 1 minute rest in between. So it's not a crazy amount, but you really feel your arms, those rope climbs, when you do 3 consecutively without coming off the rope. And I do think that impacted me a little bit in this workout, a little more than I had anticipated going into it, or than I'd even been thinking about it prior. When I mentioned it to my coach, he pointed out that I just did a bunch of those rope climbs, and that's a big grip fatigue workout the day before. And now today we've got more grip fatigue. But you know what? My grip is gonna get stronger. My grip is growing, and it's getting stronger. So almost about to come back in from that 100-meter dumbbell farmer's carry, finishing up the second round of this workout, getting into the third round. We have about 2 minutes left, so that's about as far as we're gonna get. We're not gonna finish the second round here, but we're gonna chip away to get as many reps as we can before the time expires. So again, back onto those hang squat cleans. Grip feels real bad. Doing like that was just 2 very small reps. Although I do pick up the number of reps a little bit as I go, because I'm looking at the time and I'm like, I would like to finish the lunges. I knew that at this point. So, and I knew it was also not very realistic for me to get outside and get back with the amount of time I had left. So getting through those lunges was the target at this point for me. So started doing a little bit more with the cleans, going a little bit faster on them, just so I could ensure that I could get back to those lunges, complete the lunges underneath the time cap. So right now that's my goal in my head. I'm looking at the clock, punching out my forearms, trying to be able to grip these dumbbells and finish this last minute as strong as I can. Knock out a few more of these squat cleans. I believe I put it down one more time and turn towards where I'm going to be doing those lunges. I think. We will see. Hold on. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just go unbroken here. Go for broke. No, put them down for a second, I think. Just to rest. Because I know I need to go as many of these lunges as I possibly can. And I believe I do a little bit more than half this time, just to know that I'm even closer, because now I only have 30 seconds left. And I just wanted to know that I was closer to accomplishing my goal, which was to finish 2 rounds plus 24 reps. So that's finish the 12 lunges. But there was some people that got 3 rounds, which was super impressive. People that did that, I spoke to them and they said they went unbroken on that farmer's carry, which I think is probably the key, and definitely not what I did. I broke it up a couple times there. Just finished up. I have a couple seconds left, but you need to get to the 50-meter mark to count it as an extra rep, and there just was not enough time for that. So done with the workout, 2 plus 24. Now on to some more accessory stuff. So we have some GHD sit-ups, and then there's going to be a hold. So GHD sit-ups, I don't mind those. I kind of like them, to be honest. They make me a little bit dizzy if I don't focus on keeping my head still and I'm doing a high number of reps, but for this, it wasn't super high. And then I come back and I looked at my watch there because I'm trying to see how long, about 20 seconds here, holding in this position. Pretty hard to hold. Just trying to squeeze everything, squeeze it all, so that I can stay upright in this position. And I'm also trying to look at my watch so that I do it as long as I need to, but not too much longer. So now moving on to flipping over. And I first do the wrong thing here. So that happens from time to time, you know. We all make mistakes here. So this is not what I am supposed to be doing. What I am actually supposed to be doing is a GHD glute hamstring raise. I realized that midway through, and now here I am on these raises. And after I complete these, I do have another hold, and this is an isolated extension. So it's at the extension at the bottom. You'll see that happen in a second. And that's about 15 to 20 seconds of that as well. So working on some holds, trying to work on these muscles that I'm going to need, stabilizing muscles. So here we are on this hold. Again, going to take a look at my watch just to make sure I know how much time I need to hold. I have seconds on there. And don't know what to do with my arms, obviously, so just letting them hang for a second there before I check my watch again to come out of this. And then we have one more sort of accessory, but also sort of a main focus for me. And we're moving on to the belt squat machine. And this was 3 sets of 12 1.25 squats. So basically it feels like 24 squats on this belt squat machine. Not super heavy, more for the volume. And this, I hope, will make me like squatting, because regular squats have to be a little bit easier after you do a bunch of 1.25 squats, right? That's the reasoning. That's my thought. Well, not my reasoning. My coach might have different reasoning. But my thought is, hey, if this sucks, maybe regular squatting will suck a little bit less. We're getting those legs strong. We're working on that. That's a big focus of my strength. So squatting all the time after I lunge today. So we're going to grow those glutes. We're going to grow those quads and hamstrings. And we're going to be ready to hit the weights and quarterfinals next year. But that starts now. But again, these RADs, didn't even think about them once during the workout because they were so comfortable.
Back home after my first session in my brand new RADs, my second pair of RADs, still have them on here, and they are still my favorite CrossFit shoe. And wearing them again, wearing a new pair again, reminds me that there really isn't much of a break-in period with these shoes. They feel very good as soon as you put them on. And they feel very similar to the ones I've had for nearly a year, and have probably worked out in these shoes for like 250 watts. That may sound like an exaggeration, but I honestly don't think it is. It's definitely between 200 and 250 watts probably in these shoes, and they're still holding up and feel very similar to the ones I just bought. Now, these are new. They do feel a tiny bit newer, like they're new. But the break-in period really isn't much of anything. It is the shoe functions very well right out of the box, which is a plus, because sometimes you feel like you need to break them in for a couple workouts before you're actually comfortable. And that's not the case with these, except one bad thing did happen. Hold on, let me take them off. Let me take them off so I can show you. Because this shoe is a light colored shoe, it's going to get dirty. I have to accept that. But it got dirty on the first wear. Do you see that there? Well, the dumbbell. When I put down the dumbbell in the last set of the workout, I hit my shoe. I do think I have a Tide to Go pen, and that might get that out. We'll see. But I love these. I am very happy with these. Their construction of their shoes a year in is very similar or exactly the same as they were a year ago. And I am happy to see that despite their success, they're not skimping. And that's probably why they have such small drops. Personally, I am a little frustrated by the fact that they're so hard to get the shoes, because they're such good shoes and I want them. But a year later, the verdict is in. Still my favorite CrossFit shoe. I will definitely continue to wear my RADs and rep RADs pretty much everywhere. I'll probably wear them when I'm hopefully down in Pasadena covering semifinals, which subscribe if you want to see that. And at the games this year, plan to be there too. They're just very comfortable. They're good for wearing for a long time, which Nobles, when I was a volunteer at the games, we were supposed to wear those because they gave it to us for free. And they were very, very uncomfortable. Not even by the end of the day, by like midday, because they were just so flat. But then a running shoe is just too much support for CrossFit. It would work for standing outside for all day for volunteering, but just too much support for most CrossFit workouts with weights. This is just, they've really perfected what you need for a CrossFit shoe, and still believe in the RADs. We'll see. Maybe I'll check in again soon and see how I feel about different things. Maybe they'll put out a runner. I've heard there is potential for that, and I would definitely try that too. And I do want to mention, I paid for both pairs of these shoes with my own money, full price. No one's paying me to say any of this stuff. This is just my opinion that I am a groupie for these shoes now. Just a great shoe all around. Very happy with it. And still looks very similar to the one I've had. Like this one here. This one I've had for a year, and this one I've had for one workout. And they are both holding up very similarly. So Love these shoes. Gonna keep wearing them. I have that. Let me grab the second pair I bought. I am not 100% sure if I will keep these. I just don't think I love the color quite as much as I like this one. I'm just a fan of that two-tone that you get here and you don't really have here. But maybe I'll keep them. I love the shoes. You'll have to subscribe and watch another video to find out if I keep them, because I'm not saying that to get you to watch another video. I just really don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So I will see you in the next one. I appreciate you watching this one, and like this video if you had a good time. Bye. Oh, Carson. Carson just walked by. Now you have to say bye too. He's like, why am I here? Bye.